Hey there, welcome back to my channel, Levy Builds. My name is Aaliyah and today I'm back with another speed build. So I've decided I wanted to play around with the Star Wars pack, but actually build with it because as I am a builder in The Sims 4, that's what I do, that's what I love. And I finally got around to doing my first Star Wars build, and even though the pack is very designed for like Batuu or like Tatooine style builds where it's very desert-like and brown, I decided instead to go for the Galactic Senate. So the Galactic Senate is a place it's on a planet called Coruscant, and this place is heavily featured in the Prequel trilogy. So those are the 3 movies that came out in the early 2000s, so not the original trilogy, but the prequel trilogy. And so this is a time when Anakin was not Darth Vader yet. And so that's when this was heavily featured, and it's basically just where the Republic, I guess they're called, that's where they met up, and it turns out the Chancellor ended up being like the bad guy, blah blah blah, whatever. It's also featured heavily in the TV show Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which is also a really good show. But anyways, I'm not gonna go into that. For background, that's what you're watching. And so I'll pop up pictures just right now to kind of show what the place is supposed to look like based on what I found online. I found a few pictures just like from far away as well as from the inside. And I kind of did the best of what I could do in terms of The Sims, because there are limitations and this is not generally a style of build that I do. I tend to do more traditional or like just residential lots really, but things you would see in real life, not necessarily in fantasy or in sci-fi. But what I'm trying to say is that I had limitations that I didn't know how to overcome necessarily, but I think it turned out really good for what I was trying to do. This building is just like, it's a really tall building. It's in the center of the city on Coruscant, and it's like this giant egg looking building. But I didn't really know what would be around the building necessarily, so I decided to put 2 long houses. And like they're literally houses. I kept this as a residential lot. It is the penthouse in San Myshuno, if you didn't know. And so the long houses there are fully functional housing that your Sims can live in. And then there's also like the Galactic Senate in the background. So I figured that on Coruscant, the Galactic Senate would be in a pretty like posh neighborhood. Like I imagine it would be modern and like rich people would live there. It's not a slummy area. So it was actually kind of difficult to use the Star Wars pack in this build. I did use it a lot, and I used it a lot for clutter as well as floorings and stuff. So this pack, while it is a Star Wars build, not everything in it is Star Wars. I used a lot of packs in it. I'm not 100% sure on which ones I used, but I'll have them listed in the description. As always, I always list what packs I use and the cost of the lot, especially if it's a residential. I usually list it as well if it's not a residential lot. But this one I kept as residential, but you could easily change it to whatever you want. Like this could just be like a literal general lot if you wanted, and that way you can have Sims come and explore it, and then you can just like take over one of the homes for yourself to spend the night, get your Sims needs up. But yeah, this is just kind of a fluff build. I don't expect to ever play with this, but it was very fun to build and it was kind of interesting and unlike anything I've really done in The Sims, which is really fun for me. I tend to do not the same build. I actually do a lot of variation, but it's all like residential lots, and that's also why I kind of made the outside of the Senate building. I kept it as a residential lot because it's what I was comfortable with, and honestly I don't know what else I would have put there. I could have put like a gym or something, but it didn't feel real. Like in reality of Coruscant, I would imagine there would be beautiful suites just like all around the Senate building. Like, I would imagine that's where the rich people live, and so that's kind of what I went with. And so inside the Senate building, which you'll see in a minute, right now I'm just kind of dealing with windows and stuff and trying to make the outside of those buildings look weird and interesting and like sci-fi like, because I didn't really know what to do with it because I knew they weren't going to be traditional housing, and so I went for more modern just because Coruscant, I actually have no idea, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I just went for a more modern look. And then I just kind of tried to make the outside of the Senate building a little more interesting with those like awnings that came with the pack. I think it's came with this pack. Oh no, they're from Island Living. Had no idea. Well, I did that, and I just generally just covered up the outside of that like third level there. And so that third level is where the Senate meeting area is. It looked kind of weird with it just being a plain white octagon. So I just literally like sized up different things and used different wall items just to make it like look more interesting. And I think it turned out really good. Took me a long time to get to that point. And you'll see I swing back around like a few times, adding more things throughout the build. I may have cut out bits and pieces of it just because it's repetitive. Other things I cut were bathrooms in the Senate building. There are 3 bathrooms in the Senate building, and I cut all of them from the footage because they're not that interesting. And there are 2 offices here on the main floor of the Senate building, and I only showed the furnishing of the one because they are the exact same. Like, I mirrored them to be the exact same thing. So I only showed the footage of one because you kind of get what's happening in the other one if you see this. But I actually really like the clutter items that come with the pack. And like some of them are really interesting. There's like that cool little vase that I put on the little desk there, and it's honestly really cute, and I could see using it as clutter in so many builds. It even looks like it could be like a spice jar or something, like a weird fancy one, but like still spice jar, and like you could clutter your kitchen with those. Like, I actually really enjoy some of the clutter in this pack, as well as the plants. And I actually saw I don't often watch Twitch streams, but I do when I'm doing something else and I just want background noise basically, and I happened to want to watch a stream when Dr. Ashley was streaming, and she had used those like the circle item with the cutout in the middle from the Star Wars pack. I put it on the wall downstairs, and I put some more outside of the Senate building too later on, if you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's like the circle thing, and then she took the Spa Day circle mirror, or maybe a different circle mirror from a different pack, but she put like a mirror inside of it, and so there was like this really cool border around the mirror, and I thought that was genius. So I think I do it later on. I may not show in the footage, but I'm pretty sure I did put it in one of the patios off of one of the houses. But it was really cool. Like, there's so many different things you can do with this pack, and even like here in this room, I have those like weird orb things. They look kind of cool. They're weird, but they could definitely fit in like more magic build or something. They've got more cool colors. I went with the white theme just because I figured that's the color scheme I wanted to go with, was white. And then once you head up to the 3rd floor, that's where the Senate meeting is. Now, see, in The Sims 4, you have a limitation on how many floors you can do in a build. And so my plan was to have it be more of like an auditorium, like a theater seating situation. But because I was at the limit for how many floors I could be off the ground, I couldn't do that. And so I was a little disappointed by that, to be honest, because I ended up not really going with what my vision was. But then if I had like taken off a floor from under it to give the Senate meeting an extra floor, it would have made the building from the outside look more weird and not as high up, because I wanted it to be higher and taller than the residential buildings, not the same height. So I don't know, this is what I ended up with, okay? Someone else probably could have done this so much better than I did, but I just did like what I could do in The Sims. So as you can see, there's like 2 levels or 2 areas. There's the back area with couches, and then there's the front main area with couches. And so what I was trying to emulate there was like stadium seating, or like when you go to the theater and there's like people in the like stands off to the side. I don't know the English language, apparently. It's my first language and I don't even know what I'm trying to say here, but I'll pop up a picture of what it's supposed to look like and what I ended up doing. I don't know how well it turned out, just because in the movies, it's like some people are on floating platforms and then some people are in the like theater boxes, and I did what I could and I think it turned out pretty cool. Like, it's definitely still centered around one of those hollow tables because I figured that was kind of the best I could do with realism for the movie in terms of how much could you really make a movie look real. But I think it turned out okay. That's my opinion. You can say otherwise. Leave a comment down below if you think I'm absolute crap at this, but I think it turned out as well as I could. And then I immediately stuck with my roots and I did 2 residential builds. So the rest of this video is me furnishing the 2 houses, sorry. And yeah, I really like the inside of the houses. I think they turned out really well. And they definitely like are filled with different Star Wars items, and I used other packs as well. Like you can see, I've used the Island Living counters in this first house here. Actually, I used the Island Living counters in both of them, just different swatches of them. And so I was just gonna make the houses the exact same mirrored, but then the layout for them was different. And so I figured, well, you know what, why not? I'll just make them different. So I made them different. So you'll see the second one later on, but you can already see, like here in the kitchen, I have cluttered up those shelves with a bunch of different Star Wars items. There's things that kind of look like hourglasses, and I used those and I put those on the shelves. And then those vases I mentioned are there as well. There's a little Jedi trophy or something, and I sized that down and put that there too. And thanks to the red shelf mod, I was able to do that really easily. Actually, at first I forgot that I had even downloaded the mod when I started this build. So this is when I realized, oh wait, I downloaded the mod. How do I use it? So you'll see that I'm using it for the first time in this build. And the reason why I am using the mod is because I got a new computer. If you have watched my previous videos, you would know maybe kind of what my videos look like, and you would know that my camera was directly straight in front of my computer, but now it's off to the side, so I'm sorry for when I look at my computer and not at you. I'm sure you don't really care that much, and I feel like a real YouTuber now with using my actual camera instead of the webcam on my laptop, but I have a real computer now, so I was like, what do I do? How do I get face cam? I didn't want to buy like a webcam. I debated it, but then I was like, I already have a camera. It's not a DSLR, it's like just a point and shoot, but it's like a fancy one. I got rid of my DSLR, or I still have it, but I don't use it. I just wasn't using it that much as I had wanted to, so I went for the simple, easy, fancy looking point and shoot. It looks like a DSLR though. None of you care. I don't know why I'm rambling on about that, but what I was trying to say is that my camera is now off to my left side, and you can see a little bit more of my background with my plant there and my plant there. This one actually has a leaf that's unrolling right now, if you can see that. Probably can't because it's like shrunken down in the corner of your screen, but this is my office room area. And anyways, another thing I wanted to mention is that at some point early on in this video, you would have noticed that the little banner thing I have on the bottom changed. So I did some rebranding recently, but I have footage for videos before the rebranding, and then I forgot that I had that footage, and I have like 3 different videos that are gonna come out that are gonna do the exact same thing because I was stupid. And so when I film for, or when I record for my speed builds, I have the banner just on the bottom, so it gets recorded with the building that I am doing. And maybe that's not the best way to do it, but that's what I've been doing, and that's probably what I'll stick with for a while until I change my mind later on down the road to go like, yeah, this is better, let's do this instead. But anyways, what I was trying to say is that because I do that, and because I switched halfway through building this, as well as 3 future builds that will come out, hopefully they're the next 2 so I can get them out of the way, but you never know. You'll have noticed that it was like pinks and purples and blues along the bottom that are now like this white banner with cute little plants, and I've got hanging plants up on top of where I am probably. I may have chosen to put myself somewhere else, so if I'm not, sorry. But I put little hanging plants up in the top left corner just because I thought they were cute. I don't care if it blocks your vision, I think they're cute, and that's what I'm going with. But yeah, so the next few builds will have that same inconsistency of theme. Because I deleted the old theme on OBS that had the colorful purple, pink, blue thing. And it was nice, I like it, but I wanted to update a little bit, maybe go a little more my vibe. And so yeah, I deleted it, and so now that this is what's happening here. Sorry. Banners, new camera, new computer, which means mods. I have a lot of new mods in my game, including the red shelf mod. I have wanted it for a long time, and I wasn't able to get it because I didn't want too much in my game, because my game crashed all the time. Like, I'm not even kidding, it was really, really bad. That's why I got this new PC. I got it for my brother, so I got an amazing deal on it. It is, I think, a 3-year-old computer now, but he updated some of the stuff in the computer that needed to be updated. I don't know what it was. I'm pretty useless when it comes to computer stuff. I'm not useless, I'm just not as useful as my brother is. And so honestly, he was great help, and it was amazing that he was there to help me with that, because I was able to get this amazing computer that he used to use a while ago, and he just updated parts of it to bring it more up to 2020, and then it works like a dream. And on my boyfriend even, hi Eric, I know you're watching this, he decided that he was gonna use my computer now too, and he just started playing The Witcher 2, which he had already played the first like little bit of, but then his computer couldn't handle it, and now that I have a computer that can handle the game, he's like, maybe I'll get some games. And so he's been playing games too, and I made a little profile for him so that he can play his games on his Steam account. And yeah, he's excited about my new computer, as am I. But yeah, it's really nice. That's all I wanted to say. But back to the build. Honestly, I wasn't even paying attention to the footage. I have it off to the side playing, and I have no idea if we've even moved on to the second build or if we're still in the first. I think we're in the first still. And you'll have noticed that a little while back I was doing like a little office area, and with the Eco Lifestyle, I almost said Discover University, but Eco Lifestyle windows, they have like those ledges and stuff that you always go like, oh, I want to decorate that, let's put some plants on there. But to do that, you need to come in from the outside of it and make sure that there's like a room around. So if you've ever had issues trying to decorate those, that's what you need to do. You need to flip around to the outside of the build, because the part you're trying to furnish is hanging outside onto the grid that's outside of the house, not inside the house. And so you need to, if it's like a level up like I was doing here on the second floor, you need to have a room built just temporarily and just like the size of the window, and then you break down the walls so that you can actually see what you're doing. And then you just have, if you have the red shelf mod, you put the red shelf on there, and then you can drag and drop things right onto the shelf, and it works perfectly fine. If not, you can raise things with the 9 key easily enough. I've done that before too, but I had issues at first in making this build because I was trying to bring the items through from the inside of the house onto the platform, and I was like, why isn't it working? And then I realized, oh crap, it's because the spot that I'm trying to put all these plants or books or whatever I was trying to put on, I was trying to put them on to a grid that was outside of the wall. So obviously that's not going to work, so I had to flip around and do it from the outside. So if you're wondering why I had a random wall sticking out of the house on the outside, that is why. Just so you know, if you didn't know how to do that already, and you're just a little tip, I'm sure many of you already know that, and you're like, Aaliyah, come on, we know that. You don't need to tell us. Stop treating us like we don't know shit. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to help, because I know the feedback I get most is probably from my boyfriend, and he's not a simmer, and he doesn't play The Sims. He doesn't know anything about The Sims, and he said a few times that he gets confused by what I'm saying, and so I'm trying every now and then to explain a little more, because I know most of the people that watch my videos are other simmers from Twitter. And I know that's not completely, actually it probably is completely true other than my boyfriend, but what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to make sure that I'm a little more knowledgeable about what I'm saying, not just saying stuff like it's common knowledge, because it might not be. And maybe that's a little tip for you other content creators that maybe watch my videos, is using a little more explanatory language sometimes in saying what you're doing in the build. I don't know if it's gonna make any difference, but that's what I'm gonna try to do every now and then. I will probably forget and be in my own little world, but whatever. And I'm not even talking about this build, I'm just kind of rambling on, and I hope you guys are okay with that, and I don't really care if you're not. I'm enjoying myself right now. This is fun for me. I am currently doing this voiceover in between classes. I'm going to have this uploaded today. I am saying that right now. I tweeted yesterday saying I'm going to have a video out tomorrow, and I'm saying this so that I do it, and I'm committed to it. And then I never got around to the voiceover. I tried doing it, but my camera died. And I thought my camera was plugged in directly, but apparently it doesn't charge that way, so I don't know how it works. I'll figure it out, but I just took the battery out and plugged it into the wall like you're normally supposed to. And so I tried doing the voiceover yesterday. Didn't happen, never got around to it. And so now it's the day of, I'm doing the voiceover, the face cam, the whole thing, and I am going to have this video up. It is now 12:13, and I normally like to have my videos up at 11 a.m, so I'm a little bit behind, but honestly, as long as I get a video out, I'm pretty happy with myself. I've been pretty busy with school starting again. As with many of you going back to school, some of you aren't in school, some of you are older, back to work, some of you are even teachers. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter say that they are teachers, and so there's a lot less time for YouTube in terms of content creation, as well as just watching YouTube. I have my watch later playlist right now, and it is freaking huge. I have so much to catch up on, and some people have been really consistent and still doing 3 or 4 videos a week, and I'm like, how? It's like I can't keep up. So I promise I'm trying my best to support you in your builds and your everything else that you're doing, but I have a lot going on. I have 6 courses to deal with. I used to have 7, but then I got exempt from it, so woot woot. Very excited about that. It was just an English course, and that everyone has to do as a first year going into college, but I had gone to university already and I finished my degree, and I was like, do I really have to take a course on how to do English? I know I need it, but do I really have to? I've written so many essays by now that like I know how to do APA, like I don't need this. And they were like, yeah, you can be exempt. And I was like, yes. So one less class to worry about, thank God, because that class was actually a lot of work. There was a lot of work with it and I was not here for it. And actually, if you can see in my background, you can see my lovely graduation photo right about here. It's just on my shelf. I don't know if you can see it at all. It's probably really small for you, but it's there. So I have graduated, but I'm just doing another program. So I was like, I don't want to take an English class. Can I not do this? And they said yes. I was so happy. But that still means I still have my 6 core courses for my program. And if you don't know, I am taking a social service worker diploma. I don't know what the words are. At a college here in my province. And it's all online, all of it, 100% online, which I'm okay with. I don't mind doing things online, like that's fine by me. I know some people don't like it, they like the in-class experience, but I actually like doing everything online. I don't like people, even though I'm going into like a social service worker and I'm like, I don't like people. I like people, but I like to be alone. I'm an introvert, so I don't mind staying home. I know a lot of people have had a lot of trouble with quarantine and staying home, and I've had some trouble here and there, but for the most part I know I'm doing a lot better than others, especially because I'm not like a parent or anything. I know so many people in my program are parents, and I couldn't even imagine having to deal with the stress of kids with COVID and trying to figure out if they have school, if they don't, like, ugh, it sounds so hectic. But I don't even know what I was talking about, but right now we are in the second house now. You already saw the main floor and most of the second floor of the building. I definitely like stuck with similar themes for the 2 houses, but they are different. I did the same wallpapers in them both, but different swatches for parts of it too. And I made sure that there was like room for kids and stuff, because I always forget to include kids in my builds. In the first house, there is a toddler bed as well as a kid bed in the same room, so I'm sorry they gotta share rooms, but there's a toddler bed. And then I don't know if I shared the footage, but I remembered to go back and add a toddler potty later on because I did forget it. I even told myself, like, don't forget the toddler potty. If you're putting a toddler bed, you need the toddler potty, and then I forgot. And then I went back and I did it later, but it's probably the only thing that doesn't fit the theme is the toddler potty, because they're all very like colorful and bright, and I'm like, I kind of want something modern and muted, but that's fine. I don't have toddler stuff. I don't know if there's something that comes with that fits that theme, so don't yell at me. I don't have that pack. But we are now kind of behind the Senate building, just like I'm filling it up with Star Wars stuff. I was like, I didn't use this pack enough. I'm gonna like blurt it out right here on the back, and it made like a little like food area where your Sims can come get some food, and that's why it would probably be better if you have this set as a generic lot. Actually, I don't even know if I'm uploading this to the gallery, to be honest. I don't know, but we are coming up to the end of the video now, and there will be some screenshots where you can see things in more detail and close up. And so I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It would really help my channel grow and would make me feel happy. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. So we'll see you next time. Bye-bye!